get this to all of you guys.
Are you streaming right now?
I'm just about to, yes I am.
Oh, you are now?
Yep.
I'm running out quickly for a haircut.
Oh, are you okay? All right. Just wait for everybody to get in here. I'm 10 minutes early. What is this to? Put this up on here. Okay. Hey Karen, long time no see. I still haven't gone away from my sewing. I'm so tired. What a day. Holy cow. Yay. You got all your running around done, Karen? I tell you, I am going to sleep well tonight. Hey, Annie. I'm just trying to clean up from my mad rush to get my homework done earlier. Hi, Riley. My kids headed out for a hair appointment. I have been so crazy busy, like especially today. It's been nonstop. I stopped for half an hour for lunch and that is it. Last class in the sewing area, and then we'll be moving to the new studio starting tomorrow. I will be starting that transition, so it's going to be a long weekend. Hey Anna, just telling everybody how tired I am. I've been working for 8 hours. I've only taken a half hour off. Karen's in sewing clothes and PJs and ready to go. I'm not, because I had to film an intro and outro for a tutorial releasing, so it's all good. I managed to get a couple pieces of cheese in me so my blood sugar doesn't drop too low. And now I just got to wrap my mind around what we're doing today. I'm excited for my room change too, but I wish it was done already. It's going to be so much work. Oh my goodness. But that's okay. We will survive. Hi, Irene. Irene says, I have the mission of the day. I'm on my lunch break. I can look at you for a while, have them catch up. Oh, she took it away. I can't see it now. I've heard that, Kathy, that there's tornadoes. Becky might not make it because of the tornadoes too. Oh my goodness. Is this the typical tornado season, I guess? We don't get tornadoes here, so. Scary. When I lived in Winnipeg, there was some. Well, we had funnel clouds when I lived there. We didn't actually have any tornadoes, but that was enough for me. Okay. Irene, Kathy, Anna, Karen. Yeah, I'm tired. 3, 4. Who am I missing? Annie, Where are you? There you are. 5. Hi, Nicole. No, I didn't even leave this area. Yeah, I'm kicking myself. I just did a tutorial and it is a bag that has grommets and I just noticed I did my holes too big. So my grommets are all popping out. Luckily they didn't in the tutorial, so it looks good, but I'm going to have to order bigger grommets and reset those. But that's not a big deal. Could have been something much worse. Irene says, hello group, I'm at work and can catch a little bit of it on my lunch break. Have a good sewing group today. Oh, Irene, thank you for popping in. And again, if you have any questions about the class, feel free to message me or email me during the week and I will for sure help. I did end up having a couple pieces of cheese, Nicole, so I should be good. Thursdays is great because Dave makes dinner. It'll be something either takeout or he will make spaghetti or something, but that's okay. And Kathy, stay safe. Don't play Wizard of Oz with those tornadoes. Said I just did a Beam Peeps live doing my homework. My things have dried. I swear, I just love the edge paint with the glitter. Look at that. Oh, you can see the glitter there. That's from Tandy Leather. Hey Lexi. Hi Amy. Amy says, hello everyone, just need to make room. I am buried in Galaxy custom vinyl. Where to put it all? Now you can put it in my sewing room. How about that? I have a big box coming. Probably be here beginning of the week, I'm sure. So I'll do another live mail opening with that. Amy, let's mark you down. And Lexi. Hi Lauren, long time no talk. Anna says, ha ha ha, welcome to my world, Amy. Amy, you got 2 Brandy size boxes this week? Oh my gosh. You're worse than I am. I love it. I'm sure Anna loves it too. Kathy, Lauren. Kathy says to send it to St. Louis. I love it as well. Anna says she appreciates all your support, Amy. Nicole's moving into a new house shortly and has to pack up all of her Galaxy vinyl, everything. But that's so exciting, Nicole. You so deserve to have your own house again. Especially with the year that you've had with the floods and everything last fall. So yeah, I just finished a tutorial for an amazing bag, but I cut my grommet holes too big and all my grommets are falling through them. Ah! It didn't happen in the tutorial. It happened when I was taking pictures of the bag. So got to get some larger grommets and reset those. Easy fix, thank goodness. Then I'll be able to sell it. Amy says, yay to a new house, Nicole. Is there a sewing room? Of course there's a sewing room. Just give it a little more time to get a few more people in there. We've only got about half of us right now. Guys have to keep poking me to keep me awake. It's been a really long day. Nicole says her studio will be large enough for her long arm machine. I really wish that you lived closer to me, Nicole. Dawn's computer is thinking. Think, think, think. Her hubby is laughing. Oh, goodness. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Even my hair, look, I'm a mess. Tired. Yeah, it's been quite the week. I said my son we were going to move into my studio last weekend, but Friday I was at emergency with my son because he just couldn't stop coughing. It was like 9-10 hour wait. So Friday I was up 22 hours, and this girl is one that goes to bed at 9 o'clock and wakes up at 5:30 every morning. Like, I'm very structured. So that totally shot my Saturday. He's fine, by the way. The hospital, they did an x-ray to rule out pneumonia and damage from when he had COVID about a month ago. So that was fine. But then they told him to take a Tylenol and go home. So he saw our family doctor yesterday, and he's got long COVID and a bronchial infection. He's got bronchitis. Like, he was sick and he needed meds. And so now he has them and he's on the mend. But that is okay. And then our air conditioner broke, and we're heading into hot weather soon. Usually by June, we're up to 40-45 degrees Celsius. Last year we hit 50, which was crazy. So I've been working with the AC guys, deciding whether to do a repair of our old system or get a new one. And we decided on a new one. Hi, June. So that was today, getting all the financing and everything in place for that. What else has happened this week? I don't know. It's been a week. And then, of course, I'm trying to fit in all my tutorials that I was going to do over the weekend, which I got them all done, because now Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'll be doing the room transition. So it's actually worked out better because it is a long weekend and my husband has 4 days off. So rather than just having 3, so we can get her done. So it's good. Oh, and June, you're all caught up. Amazing. No questions from the last couple classes? Glad to have you back, June. Oh, you just got a new heat pump? It was our heat pump that broke, and we're replacing it with central air. Uh-oh, Don. Maybe do a restart of your laptop, and that should fix it, I'm sure. Restart fixes everything. So we'll just give it another 3 minutes or so. We have about 2/3 of the class in now, so. Oh, awesome. I'm glad that my teaching style works for you, June. You know you can always reach out to me too during the week. So we'll be assembling the exterior of the bag today. All of our exterior panels should almost be done except for putting on that slip pocket on the side. So we'll do that. And then the lining is super fast and it goes together pretty much exactly the same as the exterior. So, and then next week's putting it all together and working with that dreaded top zipper. I think I've had too much caffeine. I'm feeling a little fidgety as I drink more pop. But hey, something's got to keep me going, right? So yeah, it's going to be really nice. I have to decide how I'm going to set up my studio. I'm kind of hoping that this table I can have close to my machine so I can have my camera system kind of all right there and just have to pivot it. But I'm a really bad judge of space, and I have what I want it to look like, but that room might not be big enough for it, but we'll find out once I get my stuff in there. Nicole says, Dawn, this week I got to experience your terror. I totally understand how you felt. Oh, yes, Nicole had an incident happen similar to Dawn's a few weeks ago. I'll let them say it in the comments, though, because I don't think it's my place to say what happened. But, yeah, I'm so glad that Nicole is safe. For sure. I'll give it one more minute. We lost somebody. I'm thinking we lost Dawn. She's probably restarting her computer. So I'm super excited for the classes. We have about 30 people that are members now for the classes, and about half of us do the actual live classes, and I think the others probably do the live replays, or they're silent in our chats here. If you're one of those silent ones, make sure you say hi. I would love to see you, or say hi back at you. But yeah, anybody that is watching this on replay, again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or even message me on Facebook or what have you. Karen says this gave her time to put her bag tag on. Yay! All right. Are we all ready to get started. I'm just going to, so Becky might not make it because there's tornadoes. And we'll see who else pops in there. Alrighty. Oh, there's Erica. Hi, Erica. Okay. Said I just finished my homework like not even half an hour ago. I'm terrible. All right, so we're gonna do what we have been doing is prepare everything we possibly can at the table and then move over to the sewing machine. And Amy says, let's do this. My kids are gone to the park, so I have a quiet house. Yay, quiet house. All right, let me just figure out where we are here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yeah, tornadoes sound scary, hey? Okay, so we're going to take our side panels and we are going to take our side pockets, find the centers. I guess I should get you guys to see my table here. Let me readjust everything. I won't learn anything from my face, that's for sure. Coco says hi. All right. Is this an okay angle? Can everybody see what I'm doing here? Okay, so let's find our center bottoms of our pocket pieces by folding it in half and doing a little snip, like so. And we should already have our bottoms marked on our side panels. Okay, I'm just going to trim up my lining here a little bit because it overhung a little. You can trim off these little wings here. We don't need them anymore. And you know what? I have no clips here. Let me run and get my clips. I will be right back. Oh my goodness, unorganized. And I'm sad to say I do not have the demo bag done yet because I decided I really wanted to be able to do it in my new studio, my tutorial in my new studio. So that'll be next week. Okay, so you want to match up the center mark on both of these and clip that in place. Now you are going to notice that our pocket piece is bigger, and that's okay because we're going to bring it in. We want it to billow like this. So it's best to do the bottom first because the bottom will fit perfectly. And then as you come around the corner here, you're just going to make sure you match up those raw edges. Okay, that's one side done, and then go ahead and do the same on the other side. My house is quiet too. It's just me and the dogs home. So when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. So it's billowed. That's what we want. Do the same with the other side as well. Where's my other side? Here it is. Coco says hi. Don't mind the paint on my hands. I was edge painting just before this class. Part of my homework from 2 classes ago that I just got done now. I've cut off my wings, but that's okay. The other side. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, so we will be going to the machine and basting those with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, but we're just going to put them in the bucket for now. Everybody let me know when you're all done that. And I need my zipper tape. Karen's done, Cheryl's done. Hi, Kim, that's okay. You can catch up. We actually just started, so we're not too bad. Okay, so while we're waiting for everybody else, one thing we want to do is we want to get our lining zipper. If you have a zipper by the yard like me, we're going to want to put our pull on. So all I do is I take my zipper by the yard and my lining piece for my zipper pocket, and I just make it a smidgen longer and cut it. And then I go ahead and I put my pull on. So if everybody could put their pulls on, that would be great. I'm going to use my handy dandy fork and whatever this is my husband built me, but it's awesome. Yeah, Kim, oh no. Yeah, all we've done, Kim, is we've clipped on our side pockets, and the pocket will be bigger. So it should look like this when you have it clipped on. And we've done that with both of them. Am I tightening this up? Am I making it taller? No. So I'll go ahead and find my pull. This pocket, I have 9 inches. 9 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by 8 inches. Oh, which way do I want it to go? I want it to go the 9 inches way. So 9 inches wide by 8 inches tall. So 9 and 8. Oh, good, Kim. You're ahead of the game already. Oh, I got it on straight first try. Sweet. All right, everybody let me know how long for the zipper. I just use my lining piece as a guide and cut it rough. So I've cut my zipper about 10.5 inches. Just make sure. Yeah, that's right. Cocoa beans, holy moly, girl. Okay, everybody let me know when you're ready to move on. Cheryl's done. How did I put the pull on? I'll show you. I actually use a fork, Amy. So you don't necessarily need the fork, but you take your pull and I put it on my fork and then I pull just an end so it's right side down and my zipper pull is wrong side up. And I pull a little ways away and then I just kind of put it through and pull it on like so. If you don't have a fork, you can do it without it. I'm just not very good at doing it that way.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Alexa's not sure about that. Kathy's done. The zipper is so easy with the fork. It's kind of fun. You can get a zipper jig or whatever, but they're like $70. So my husband just made me something with a fork. This isn't the main lining. These are the linings for the zipper pocket, the zipper pocket linings. We should have 2 pieces. We're not working on the main zipper. We're working on the zipper pocket panels, which we'll be using our overlay and our zipper pocket linings and one of the main lining pieces. You broke your fork, Amy. That's hilarious. Okay. Anybody else ready to go? I see that Kathy and Cheryl are done. Done, fork is dead, Amy says. I've never heard of anybody killing a fork with a zipper pull. That's hilarious. Hey, Becky, how are the tornadoes? We have done so far is we have just clipped our side pockets on, and you'll see they're a little bit bigger. You just match up all the raw edges in the center. You should have this on both of them. And we're just about to start on our interior zipper pockets. Hey, Kim is done. All right, so we're going to move on. So again, know your machine limitations if you are going to be using double-sided tape like me. If not, if you can't use this, you can definitely use clips, but I'm going to use double-sided tape. So I have my zipper pocket lining pieces right side up. And I have the 9-inch up top here. So I'm 9 inches wide and 8 inches high. Okay. And I'm going to put my zipper tape along the top 9-inch edge of both lining pieces. We're only going to work with one of them for now. You're going to take that. It doesn't matter which way your pull is going at this point, but go ahead and just clip or stick that on. With the zipper is right side up as well. So our lining piece, our zipper pocket lining piece and our zipper are both right side up. Stick that on, or go ahead and you can clip it on like this if you want to. Take those 2 pieces and put them in our sewing bucket. We're done with those for now. While you guys do that, I am just going to figure out the placement. So it's 2.5 of 1 inch. Okay. So I obviously did my thing too big. So for my zipper thing here, I am actually going to go ahead and square it off because I made my overlay too big. So mine's going to look weird, but that's okay. And I'm not going to bother edge coating what I'm cutting off. I did not think about that. So now I have a square one because we need our zipper overlay to be within the seam allowance here. So now my pretty edges are off because it was too big for my lining. Now I'm sad, but that's okay. I will survive. Did you do the same thing too, Karen? I'm super sad right now, but it'll still work. Still looks okay. I just liked it better with these edges, but you can see how it was going to get stuck in. I did not take that into account, and I should have. And I could have done it here, but then my zipper thing would have been way down here, which that's no place for a zipper. So this here is the main lining right here. This one is the main lining. These ones were zipper ones, the 8x9 pieces. We're done with those ones already. So as soon as everybody's ready, we're going to be working with the ones that are angled, the main lining pieces. And June's already done because she is a superstar. But that's okay. That's okay, Kim. Oh, Becky, stay safe for sure. All right, everybody let me know when you're ready to go on to this part. I've already found one mistake on my own part, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Kathy's done. Awesome, June, with the slip pocket and the zipper pocket. Karen's done. Okay, so what you want to do is take your lining piece and kind of make a crease where the center is, like so. You can also go ahead, if you want, to mark your centers, which is always helpful, on one lining piece right now. And according to the pattern, so because we're doing our zipper differently, make sure your overlay is going to fit in there outside of the seam allowances. Again, I have a funny looking one now, but it'll be fine. So this opening here is supposed to be about 2.5 inches down. So what I am going to do is I am going to take my double-sided tape, if I can find it, and I'm just going to put it along the outside edges here. You don't want to put it down here. You just want to put it along these outside edges. Keep it out of the seam allowance if your machine does not like double-sided tape. Just think we're going to be going 1/8 of an inch along the top of this, so you can kind of guesstimate. Oops. Okay. And what I am going to do, so I know my thing is just under 8 inches. So I'm going to put my ruler centered to the 2.5 inch mark where the pattern says we need to place this. I'm going to just take the tape off the bottom part and I'm going to line this somewhat centered, and I'm taking my ruler and lining where my zipper box opens, where the ruler is, because that is what the pattern is calling for it to be. I can tell you exactly, because everybody's overlays are going to be different depending which ones you're using. This is just the easiest way. Make sure if you need to come down a little bit, you can. So now I'm just going to take my tape and I'm going to stick that bottom part down like so. So my overlay ends up sitting about 1.5 inches down. But the opening of where the zipper is going to be, you want it to be 2.5 inches down from the top. See? And then I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off the top part. Just let it fall where it wants to be. I'm going to be really close to my seam allowance, but I think it'll be fine. Just like so. And then we can put that aside for now. Everybody let me know when you're done with that. And if you want to do it the traditional way as per the pattern without the overlay, of course you are more than welcome to do that. Okay. Okay, that's going to work just fine. Okay. June, I agree. They are so much easier, and you always end up having a nice outcome, even when you screw up the overlay like I did and make it too big. That's okay. That even if it gets caught in my seam a little bit, it'll be fine. And then you can put that aside into your sewing bucket as well. And I'll get the next pieces out we're going to work on. Everybody let me know when you're ready to move to the next thing. And what we're doing next is the optional slip pocket. This is not in the pattern. This is just a Brandy way of doing this. So you can omit this or you can do it along with us. You had to cut a new smaller overlay too, June? Yeah, I don't know why I didn't take that into account. I was thinking it was wider, but that's because we put the sides on, right? So Kathy's good to go. Karen's good to go. June's good to go. I'll give everybody else another minute or so. Oh, we don't need this piece yet. We just need this one. Lexi's ready. Cheryl's ready. Okay, so this is the slip pocket piece that we cut out. That was 8 inches by 12.5-ish inches. So what we want to do is fold it upon itself, right sides together, like so. And then just clip the sides. And then we can toss that into our sewing bucket too. So again, this is right side together, folded in half. Hoping in my new sewing space that I'm going to be so close. I think I'm going to try to have my cutting table and my 2 machines kind of in a U shape if it works. And it's just going to be so much better. Okay. Okay. Size again, it was 8 inches by 12.5 inches. Again, this isn't in the pattern. This is just a Brandy thing. So hopefully the size works because I'm kind of winging it here. Kathy's done. Feeling a sense of calm now. It's been such a hectic day and I'm really calm right now. This is good. You guys make me calm. Can't seem to put your zipper pull on without having a bevel on fork number 2. Amy, you cracked me up. Sometimes if you put one end in just a slightly longer than the other one, that works. It's really just something you have to practice with to get it. If it's just a little bubble, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The other option is you can have the pull on and then have the open side open, if that makes sense. And then you can kind of just hold them together when we go over top of it, and then it will be even when we sew it. It'll be a little more awkward to do, but if there's a little bubble, I wouldn't worry about it so much. Okay. Where is my bottom? There it is. Okay, we'll give everybody another minute or so. Okay, Becky. Okay, I'm all caught up except for this interior zipper pocket. What did you do with the, did you do zipper right side up on the right side up of the pocket? That is correct. I will show you because it's right here. Just like this. So I have my, and it's the 9-inch side that I have the zipper on, and I have it, them both right side up. And then on the other zipper panel, I just put some double-sided tape so it's ready when we're at the machine to sew it on the other side. Is zipper facing to the left? Like, it doesn't really matter right now which way it is facing because that'll be the next step. So it can face either way right now, Becky. It doesn't matter too much just yet. Because once we have both of the linings on, we can flip it upside down if we want to get it the direction we want it to go. How are you doing with that fork, Amy? Zippers are not your friend. One day you will be one with the zipper, trust me. Everybody has been there with Zipper by the Yard, getting the zipper pulls on. Homework for this class will be cutting your length of zipper for the top and getting your zipper pull on. But at the same time, it doesn't matter so much for the top zipper how even we get it on. You'll see what I mean. Oh, I guess it does. Maybe that won't be homework. I think we're going to do it a different way. So yeah, maybe homework would be practicing with your zipper and zipper pulls because we will be putting the zipper pull on once the bag is finished. You can have it open on one side for this. Yes, Amy. And then when we go to sew the zipper, you'll just have to close the zipper with your fingers when you sew over it. It'll make it a little more awkward, but you can definitely do it that way. I'll show you another little trick, Amy, that actually might help, okay? I'm going to take my zipper off. Sorry, guys, we're going to kind of go sideways here. Okay, I'm going to show you a trick, Amy. So on the back side, the wrong side of your zipper, I should have showed this to begin with. On the back side, take chalk or a pen and draw a line straight across like so, okay? Your pull does not have to be on at this point. So just take your tape and draw a straight line like this on the wrong side of the zipper. And then when you go to take your fork or go to put it on, it's a lot less frustrating to do this. So you have your pull on here, and you're going to want this line to be straight when you put it on. So I'm going to try to do it bad here. I did it. It went on straight. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't match up. Okay. So like you see here, you see how my line doesn't match up? So I know right away that it's not straight. Oh, and I messed it up. Darn it. So you keep putting it on until you can get that line to match up. So I'll show you again. Put this on. I didn't match up there, so I'm just going to pull it off again and readjust and do it. And then it's not as frustrating because you know right at this point, now I matched up, see? And now I should have no bubble, which I don't. So that's just one less, that I would be showing you how to do this when we do our top zipper at the end, so it's a good way to practice. But yeah, that's a good way to learn and to get a feel for it. I don't necessarily have to do it all the time anymore, but that is what I used to do to learn how to get my zipper pull going on nicely. So that should work for you. Give it a go. Because I know you're not going to want that one end open. You'll cry. There's no crying in Annette class. Okay, so everybody else, so we have our centers of our bottoms already snipped here. We should. At this point, let's snip the sides as well to find our centers of our exteriors, like so. I should cut some of my foam away because it is going over. Okay, and what I am going to do is on the wrong side of this, I am going to draw a 1/2 inch line. This is something that I learned, and it's so easy from the tutorial I just did. And I swear it makes for a perfect seam allowance. On each of the long sides, I'm going to draw a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Like so. And then you're going to take that, match your centers with one of your main panels, the long center, right sides together, and clip across. Oops. So you have something that looks like this. You're going to take this and your other main panel and put it in your sewing bucket. And now we are ready to move to the machine. So while everybody's doing that, I'm going to unplug my phone. Hi. Do I look tired? And I'm going to move to the other machine and get my computer set up. Oh man. Look, we won't have, well, look at, oh, I need to empty my garbage. Last time making you guys dizzy like this, getting through my tight spaces. I'm so excited. Okay. Bucket. All right, and I'm gonna bring the chat up on my computer here. Sorry for seeing my head later. Okay, come on, computer. Oh my gosh. Okay, I could have had this up already, but of course, that would be organized, right? There we go. Ads, ads, ads. I like ads, that's how I get paid. Okay, and everybody let me know when you're ready to move on. Okay, I'm ready. Is this a good angle? Can everybody see okay here? Should I bring it down or is that okay like that? Let me know. Kathy's done. Karen's ready. I'll give everybody another minute or so. I'm just going to go double check something really fast. I will be right back. I'm second guessing myself. No, I'm good. The good view is good? Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll start at the top of the pile here. Why can't I see my video? Okay. All right, so we have our one main panel here, and we are just going to sew across that 1/2 inch line we just drew, or do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, which is the same thing. So the tutorial I just did, she drew out all of her seam allowances on these main pieces, and my seams were flawless. I'm like, such a simple thing. Yeah, mind blown. Okay, so make sure you backstitch and go all the way across the bottom, following that line. So easy. Now this is where, because the pattern doesn't actually call for foam in the bottom, but if you wanted to cut some of that foam away at this point, you definitely could if you wanted to have less of a bulky seam. I like it bulky, so I am okay. So everybody let me know when you're done that. My computer's being a weirdo. Holy. There you go. Kathy's good. Give everybody another couple minutes here and then we'll move on. Is Dawn still in there? Dawn, did you get your laptop working? I haven't seen her chatting, so I wonder if her computer stopped working. Oh, Becky lost connection. Understandably, you're undergoing tornadoes right now. Yes, it is a 1/2 inch. So that line, you should just saw all the way across that line. That was just marking our seam allowance of a 1/2 inch. And again, if you're on a domestic and you've done foam right to the end here, you can go ahead and cut it out of the seam allowance a little bit. A little bit tough because we haven't basted in, but if you think you need to do that, you can, but don't have to. I'll give it one more minute. Dawn says, could you do me a huge favor, Brandy? My thread is shredding again. I just changed my needle, reinserted my bobbin. Could you pan down to the front of your machine? I want to double check. Like how I have it threaded, or here, let me grab my, sorry for my hand, pull my phone out. What do you need to see? Can you see it? Can't tell if you can see what I'm looking at here. What do you need to see? Oh, so you can't see what I'm doing, showing you my machine here? Hello, everybody. This is Tiffany. make sure, Dawn, that the little indent on the needle is facing into the inside of the machine to the right. That's what happened last time you had that problem, is the indent on the needle. I don't know what that's called, but make sure it is on the right side and centered. Otherwise, it will shred your thread. I think that's what happened last time that happened. Hi guys, sorry you're looking at my neck. Okay. I can't wait to have a better setup. Sorry, my camera. Yay, Amy, did that trick help you with the zipper? I should have thought about showing that to you sooner. Okay, am I at an okay angle again? My camera's kind of going sideways, but that's okay. Perfect. I'm glad that helped. Okay, so now you want your seam to be pointing towards the bottom when we fold it over. So see how my seam is going this way? That's what we want. We're just going to fold this over on top of itself. You want to make sure, I mean, I have a lot of foam in here, so I'm going to have to make sure I am keeping it where it needs to be. And I am going to top stitch along the bottom side, making sure that seam is going to the bottom. And I'm going to put my stitch length up to about a 6 on my industrial. Do whatever your preferred top stitch is. Just make sure that seam is pointing this way. And go ahead and top stitch that in place with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So you shouldn't feel any seam on this side. It should only be on this side. And I honestly like the foam in it because I think it gives it kind of puffs out a little bit there and gives it almost like a full piping look in a way. Make sure your top stitching looks good, and mine does. Making sure it's still all pointing down. So it should look like that with your seam pointing down towards the bottom, like so. And then we are going to repeat with the other side and the other main panel. So you're going to put them right sides together, the other long side of the bottom with the other one, match up those centers, and do exactly what we just did. Again, top stitching, making sure it goes towards the bottom panel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The area right above the needle. I don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to sew that with a 1/2 inch seam allowance along that line that we just drew again. Make sure you change your stitch length down to a sewing stitch length and then top stitching stitch length again. And then again, we want to situate it so we're top stitching and this seam is going down like this. You could also go ahead and trim some of this away if it's too thick on a domestic machine. Just the main panel. I wouldn't do the bottom panel. Just a little bit. But if you can keep it full, that's great too. So again, I have it. I'm going to push it towards the bottom. So much bulk with foam since I basted mine in place. What if I take the stitches out and cut more foam? That is perfectly safe to do, Karen. Just trim it back a little bit and you should be fine. You can do it within 1/8 of an inch of the seam and that will be fine. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch this one. So I'm just feeling under and pushing it away towards the bottom. So it shouldn't be on this side at all, the seam. You want it all on the other side. Amy says, in many of your videos, you stitch again around closer to the edge. Are you not doing that with this one? I am not with this one. But when I do that in my other videos, and you can determine, it depends on the bag that I'm making and the seam. If for some reason your threads are showing right in the seam and mine isn't, so I'm not worrying about it, I would go back in and do another stitching beside the stitching just to take the stress off of the thread. But I have no stress on my thread right now, so I am just leaving it. I am golden. I'm okay. Okay, Dawn, sorry. I can try to help you after if you like. So yeah, Amy, that's the difference. I kind of, it all depends on the vinyl I'm using and what have you. If I notice my thread showing through, like it, you know how it kind of looks like it's stressing and you can see your stitching thread, then I would go through with another line of stitching within the seam allowances, about 1/8 of an inch away, just to take that stress off. But I don't have that happening right now. So does that make sense? But Amy, if you want to do that, definitely you can. I mean, extra security is always good as well. I'm impressed. You notice that I do that in some of my videos. Awesome. Okay, so Kim is done. So we can put that panel aside for now. And we can pull out our 2 side panels. Cheryl's done. Kathy's done. Okay, so that made sense to everybody? We're good? I don't believe we've been in here almost an hour already. Time just goes so fast when we're having fun. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take our pockets and we just want to base these on with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So just base them on. Make sure when you go around the corners, you make sure that you are not, you don't have any nips and tucks. It is a nice smooth corner. Just 1/4 of an inch all the way around. just like so. Again, you want to make sure that you have a rather big billow here, which is good. And do the same with the other side. And that's 2 sides done. Then we can work on the lining pieces. I just love the sound of the clips. I don't know why. I'm a weirdo. Just 1/4 of an inch baste, Becky. It's just a baste. The seam allowances are all in the pattern too, if you're following along. How's everybody making out? No, that's completely fine, Becky. I'm just saying if you're worried about not knowing, they're all there too. Kathy's done. My computer's being weird. Okay, Karen. Sorry about that. I probably should have measured. Usually that overlay is good for all of them. I just didn't take that into account. But I think mine is okay. It'll work. Cheryl's done. Okay, we'll give it another minute or so. Amy is done. I'm so proud of you, Amy, that you got the zipper. Yay! Kim is done. You should be proud of yourself, Amy. Okay, speaking of zipper, we're going to take our lining zipper pocket piece. Oh my gosh, you used the plastic fork? No, use a metal fork. Plastic forks will break. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to sew the zipper on to our lining piece with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Now, if you're a part of my Betty class, you know exactly what we're doing here. This will just be all repeat for you. Okay, then we're going to take our other lining piece. Now, actually, it is a little bit different than the Betty because we are going to leave the bottom of this open when we do it, and I'll show you when we get there. Okay. Take your tape off or clip it on, and we're going to go like this and line this up and do the other unattached side of our zipper tape, making sure our lining pieces are lined up, and stick it down. Like so. And go ahead and sew that side with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance as well. I thought you broke a metal fork, Amy. I'm like, how the heck did she do that? Okay, so then once you're done, this is what you should have. Where your zipper teeth are right side up and your lining pockets are wrong side down. And then we'll end up taking and pressing this at the iron, but this is what we have so far. So you can put that back in the going back to the working at the table bucket. Okay. Yay, Becky! Okay, everybody let me know when you're there. I am going to actually go plug my iron in to get it all warming up for pressing. Oops, did I turn it on? There we go. Sure can't wait to be all in one room. Okay, Dawn says, yeah, I was able to finally get back to being live with you all without my computer getting mad at me. Yay! And your machine's acting okay, Dawn? The seam allowance guide needs replacing. Kathy is done. Oh, my machine was giving me so much trouble yesterday. I actually had to go in and almost do a full service and cleaned out her bobbin area and everything and gave her a good oiling, and then she was done. Okay, Cheryl, what do you need? So when you attached it right side up and right side up, so your lining pocket piece was right side up and your zipper was right side up. You stitched across with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and then did the same on the other side. But are you having problems with, Cheryl? I'll try to help you through. What am I trying to respect, Kathy? This here, Lauren, I actually had a subscriber send it to me. I don't know where it's from. It's Scotch masking tape only, and it had rulers on it. So I'm not sure where you can buy it. I've never seen it before. You got it, Cheryl? Perfect. Everything okay, Kathy? Respect the zipper? But yeah, I find it, I just match one of the 1-inch things with where my needle is. And then I have a guide here, and then I know where to put my thing. Like right there is 3/8 of an inch. It's pretty awesome. Becky, darn, I did mine wrong. I have my zipper. My zipper's right side up. One side is right side up, and the other side is wrong side up. Oh no. Easy fix though. Just pull those stitches out and flip it around. No, right, both right side up. Lining pocket right side up. Oh, I see. You meant to say repeat. It says, please respect that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm trying to respect here. No, right side up and right side up. Oh, yeah, you probably get this thing on Amazon, I'm sure. I've been getting lots of presents lately. I've been feeling really special. Excellent. Feel free to share the link in this chat with everybody if you want to. It's a great tool. I never would have thought about finding that if it came from, I don't remember, Kathy. Oh no, did you do it opposite to Kathy? That's okay. Cheryl's done. Becky, it's supposed to be zipper right side up when we're done and the other side's wrong side up. Once you're done, yes. So my zipper is right side up once it's done, once it's sewn. And my lining pieces are wrong side up. So the way you think about it is pretend these are all sewn. When you open up your zipper, you're going to see the right side of the lining. That's how it should be. You chose a bat. Oh, did you not have to interface your batik, Cheryl? Make sure your interfacing isn't showing, but if you didn't interface it, it'll be fine. So does that make sense? That once the zipper is sewn on, the exterior or the wrong side of the lining should be up. Oh, I see, Becky, what you're doing. Okay. Okay. So we are going to move on. If anybody has any other questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Okay, so now we're going to take our... Oh, you did do it correctly? Awesome, Kathy. Okay, so we're going to take the slip pocket. Bobbin got you, Kim. Oh, darn you, Bobbin. And we are just going to stitch down each side of this with about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So we don't have to worry about stitching the folded side. We just got to go down each side with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So, and down the other side. And you're not the problem child at all, Becky. This is what these classes are for asking questions. I'm glad that you stopped me. And then that can go back in the bucket for going back to the working table. And then we just have our overlays. Darn you, overlays. I wonder, I'm going to be something tricky. I'm going to try to be decorative to make it look better. I don't know if it's going to make it do it. Don't do what I'm doing. I just really like it when my angles are in, and I think I can do it, except for now I have raw edges. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. At least I have shape. All right, so everybody let me know when you're ready. The house is way too quiet. Holy moly. Hey, look, I matched my chair. Amy's going bucket shopping tomorrow. I have pieces all over the place. Can I repeat the zipper pocket? Okay. So when you are putting the zipper on before sewing, you're going to have your lining piece right side up and your zipper right side up along the top, and you're going to sew with a 1/4 inch across that. Then you're going to flip it over. You're going to have your lining piece right side up and your zipper right side up. And then you're going to sew across that top with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So when you're done and you flip it, you're going to notice now that your zipper is right side up, but on the exterior now we have our wrong sides of our lining panels. And you know if you have it right, because if you open your zipper, you should see the right side of your lining pockets. So when it's done and you've sewn it all on, it should look like this, where your zipper is right side up and your lining piece is here. This is the wrong side, because we want the inside of our zipper to be the right side. Does that make sense? I know it seems confusing and opposite what it should be, but you are welcome. I hope I explained it and didn't okay and didn't cause too much confusion there. No problem, Anna. I'll talk to you later. Amy, on a side note, this week does not have a delay. Last week it was several minutes between message and live. Huh, interesting. That's good. It's probably different for everybody, I would think. Okay, Kathy is ready. How's everybody else doing? Amy's ready. We will give it another minute or so, and then we will keep going. Already 5:15. Holy moly. It just blows my mind how fast time goes. Kim's ready. Cheryl's ready. Okay, I think we have enough people ready. Okay, so again, this is a Brandy way of doing things. This is the way I complete all my bags. I think I made my zipper overlay look pretty now, cutting those corners, so that's good. So I don't like to have the back stitch. You know how you get that kind of ugly, thicker part of threads? So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull my threads long. Make sure your machine's at your top stitching length. Hold on to those threads. And we are going to go along the outside perimeter with 1/8 of an inch. We are not going to back stitch. We are just going to sew through. Oh dear, Becky, do you have to go? Okay, so I'm going to start sewing. I did not back stitch. We're only going the outside perimeter with a top stitch. Make sure when you pivot, your needle is down. I have to go a little further. I I do a lot of hand cranking when I come to my corner, so I know exactly where my needle's going down. Make sure your top stitches are good, your tension's good, mine is good. Ooh, this is going to be close. You told her to ask her dad, Becky? That's hilarious. She shouldn't be going out if there's tornadoes anyways. That's not safe. Okay, so at this point, I have my needle down in this corner, so it's not going anywhere. I'm going to flip this up, and I'm going to pull on my bobbin thread on the back side till I get a little loop. And what that is our top thread here, and we're pulling that top thread through. Say that 10 times fast. I know I say that all the time. Like so. Okay. And then go ahead, keep those threads out of the way, and continue on. Karen says, I actually make a dot on the corner so I know when I can turn so it's nice and neat. Oh, that's a really good idea. I should start doing that. I just kind of eyeball it, but that would make it a lot more accurate. Okay, now, as we come to our start point, make sure your starting threads are pulled back, and we want our thread to end in that same hole that we started in. So sew across, and then when you get like within 1 or 2 stitches of it, I like to just hand crank it so I can see where my needle is going, and then make sure that last stitch is going to go right in that starting hole like so. Pull your threads long. Make sure you hold on to those threads so you know which one is the bobbin thread we want to pull, so do not let them go. Hold on to them like this, still holding on, because if you let go, you might mix it up with these ones. Grab that bobbin thread, pull it until that top loop comes, and pull it through to pull that top thread through. Karen, we're going to be drawing the seams when we go to do the corners too, so there you go. And you can see, you can't tell where we started and stopped because we didn't do a back stitch. Then we're going to take those 4 threads. I take 2 in one hand, 2 in the other, and I tie 3 or 4 knots with them. And it just makes for a really nice seamless top stitch. I'm going to go 4. And then if you're using a bonded thread like I am, I like to just take my lighter and melt this a little bit, and it makes a really nice knot. Now, if you're worried about that unraveling, you can always take a little bit of crazy glue and put it there too, but I've never had one unravel. There we go. So it makes a really nice knot right there. Ta-da! Okay, and that's done. So I am going to take this over to the other table while everybody finishes up, and then we can get some more prep work done. Hello. Oops, Benny, I'm going to step on you, baby. My camera is so lopsided. Look at that. Wow, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, I so can't wait to not be walking into stuff. Look how messy I am. I've been organizing. Look at that. Can't wait to be in my new space. Ben, move, baby. Okay. I got thread stuck to me. Okay. I'm stuck on thread around my ankle. What the heck? Okay. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with my camera here. There we go. And there we go. All right, so everybody let me know when you're done there. We have 40 more minutes. We can do this. There will be some homework tonight, for sure. Cheryl's done. Said next week the hardest part is going to be that zipper. I don't look forward to that zipper. Kathy is ready. Okay, I gotta grab a pattern piece here. 1 second. Where are you? You're right there, guys. I'm just looking for my pattern piece. Where are you? Oh my goodness. Side pocket. Where's my side pocket pattern piece? I'll be right there. Is that it? I am missing pieces. There you are. Okay. Okay, so while we're waiting, somehow every time you pull your thread through, I lose that last stitch. Oh, Kim, you got to make sure you are pulling the right thread. Make sure it's the bobbin one that you're pulling through, and you're pulling through the first loop that comes up. Again, it's something that practice makes perfect. You're more than welcome to backstitch too. You don't have to do as I do. Dawn, it's very similar to the Trailblazer, how you do the Trailblazer zipper. I know you'll understand that. Okay, so everybody's ready. Oh, yeah, you understand. Okay, so we're going to do the hardest part first. So, I'm going to take your side panel. I'm only going to do one side panel with you. You guys are going to do the other side panel for homework, as am I. Okay. So on your side panel piece, you see where it says zipper placement? We want to make a mark where that zipper placement is right now. So I'm going to do that with just a very, very small snip, like super small, like within the basting seam allowance right there. See how I did that? You can also go ahead and mark it with chalk or a quilting pen. I'll do that as well. But yeah, make a snip there and make a mark. That is going to be for zipper placement next week, but we want to mark it now. You want to do the same on the other side. So I'm actually just going to make a little snip where that is. So when I flip it over like so, I can go ahead and do the same on the other side. Make a mark. That pen doesn't work very good. That's why I like to use snips, because a snip doesn't go away, but you want it to only be like 1/8 of an inch snip. So you can just kind of even make a little V snip. You will do that on both sides. So you can see little teeny tiny snips right there, and that's for next week. Okay. Now, what we want to do is, as Karen was saying, we're going to do the same thing. Now, our seam allowance is a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and because we have curves here, I'm actually going to draw my seam allowances so I can see them a little bit better. I'm going to draw across here. We'll see if this helps. When I get to the curve, I'm just going to do on part of the curve just as a guide, like that, and then all the way up the side here. And it just helps give us a little bit of a visual, and then you can kind of complete the curve a little bit like that. to my curve and up the side. You do not have to do this. I just think it's going to help make sure we get that curve nice and even, like so. And then yes, what we are going to do now is we have our, how big for seam allowance? It's a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then what we're going to do is we have our bottom snip of our pocket here. And remember we did that little side snip on the bottom here. We're going to match those together like so. Put in 2 or 3 clips to hold that in place. And then you're going to take up the side. We're going to, I got to trim my foam away here a little bit. Take up the side, match up the side and the top here like so. And clip that in place. 2 or 3 clips. Go around the other side, pull it up like so, match up that top corner. Oops. Put in 2 or 3 clips. And then what I like to do is go back down to the bottom and clip as much as I can. We're going to be easing the fabric through. So clip all the way to those seams that we did here. I find that helps right to about there. And go ahead and clip all the way around. So it should fit in. See how mine is fitting in nicely there? Work around the corner, evenly distributing that fabric. May take a couple tries to get it. Corners are always the worst. And of course, using vinyl doesn't help matters. Let's do a couple down the side first. Tuck it in. There we go. Make sure there's no nips or tucks in there. You want it to be nice and smooth. I cut mine a little bit too big there, so I'm actually just going to trim it off. I can see that I went a little bit overboard, so I'm just going to make it fit. There we go. Use lots of clips on that corner. Okay, and the other side. Darn you, corner. There we go. She slid in. That's good. Wow, that clip went flying. Did everybody see that? All right, so once you get all of that in place, you can see how it's going to look on the inside here. Flying clips, exactly. So you can put that in the sewing bucket to go to the machine. Now I'm going to sew this one with you. This other side you are going to do for homework, and it's done in the exact same way. But we'll sew that together. Ooh, let's try not to put that near my iron. We'll put it over here. Amy, you definitely could use a stapler if you prefer to do that. Definitely go ahead. I'm not a fan of staplers because I hate pulling the staples out. Another thing you could do is hand baste it if that's what you like to do. Definitely. Okay. Everybody let me know when you're ready to move on. So I'm actually just going to go. I'm going to take my zipper here and I'm going to, while I'm waiting for everybody, I'm going to press this open. These seams, because we want that zipper to be fully exposed. So I am going to go ahead and do that. You guys can do that as well as soon as you're ready. Gotta wait for my iron to reheat up. Got these ready. So this week we're just going to end up getting the exterior fully done and all of our lining panels done. Next class, the first half of the class is going to be putting the lining panels together. We are going to be doing it slightly different than the pattern. So please don't work ahead unless you want to do it as per pattern, then you're more than welcome. So, and then the second half will be doing that zipper. So yeah, if everybody can go ahead, take your zipper piece and press your zipper flat. I'm not used to using waterproof canvas and an iron. I gotta be careful. Holy moly. So I'm just ironing that zipper open and flat. Okay. Like so. Yes, Lauren, you double-sided tape for this zipper or the end zipper? I'm using double-sided tape on this zipper. The end zipper, I don't know yet. I'm going to actually practice doing that zipper when I do the tutorial before class next week because it is a tough zipper. Okay. So once you're there, I'm actually going to just trim my tape up a little bit because I'm overhanging a lot. Okay, so for this piece here, so we have top stitched around the outside. So now we want to cut a hole through our lining right here. So I'm just going to slice it like this. And then I'm going to go in with my scissors and I just want to cut away some of this inside part here. So I'm going to take my scissors in there and I'm just going to go under my overlay. See what I'm doing here? I'm going to do snips. Don't go through the stitches. You're just kind of going, see, I didn't cut this. I only cut this underneath part and you can see it here. And you're going to do that on the other side as well. So you can see there, I got a V, so I can take that V, pull it away, and you can see the overlay there, and I'm just going to cut it back within the stitches. This doesn't have to be pretty at all. You just want it away from that opening. This is the way I do all my zippers. I love doing them with an overlay. I just find it so much faster and a lot prettier. Make sure you don't cut those stitches. I almost did there. Whew. But you do want it to be away from that opening. We don't want any raw edges showing through there, like so. And then along this long edge, cut it away as well. Again, it doesn't have to be pretty. Nobody is going to see this. It's going to be in between the layers. We just want to cut away that fabric. Now, if you need to see this again, I do have a tutorial on this. It's an overlay for easy turning. So then you have something that looks like this. Okay, everybody let me know when you're there. So the goal is we got to get that side sewn on, the zipper in, and the slip pocket in within the next 25 minutes. And then I have to make that work. So give everybody another minute or so. Again, I have tutorials on how to do this type of zipper pocket and how to do this kind of slip pocket. So if you need a reference, again, just make sure you check out my playlist. It's called Bag Makers 101, and it has tutorials on how to do all of this. Cheryl's ready. Becky's done. Kathy's ready. Okay, we'll move on. So on the back side of this, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. Again, if your machine does not like double-sided tape, make sure you keep the tape outside, like within above 1/8 of an inch where we're going to be stitching around, because we're going to be stitching around here, just like we did up here with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Just keep the double-sided tape outside of that. I don't have to worry about it so much, but I'll show you what I mean by that. Is I'm keeping it up, just eyeballing it about that much. We just want it to be able to stick to the tape when we go to put it in. But you can see here I'm above 1/8 of an inch, so I wouldn't be stitching through that double-sided tape, but it's high enough or that it's going to catch that zipper tape when you put it here. Okay, so now this is where you want to position your zipper pocket, because we're going to be putting this over top like this. So make sure your pull is closing to the left if you want it to be to the left. That's my preference. Or if you like it to be closing to the right, you would just flip it over and have it closing to the right. But I like mine to close to the left. So now I'm going to take just the top part of double-sided tape off. I'm going to leave this one on. I'm just taking the top one. And we are going to, you want it to be centered on there. You're going to eyeball it. Make sure it's centered. And then use that tape, press it down when you find a place that you like it to sit, to make your zipper nice and straight. Oops, not really straight there. And when you like how it looks, my pull's in the way. So I got that stuck on good. I'm going to flip up the lining, and I'm going to take off that bottom piece of double-sided tape paper. And do the same with the bottom, placing it where you want it to be. Just like that. And stick it down good. I think I want it to be a little bit more. Just like that. So we have that stuck in like that and like that. So you want to make sure that your pocket is up and down at the same time, stuck down, and then you can put that in the sewing bucket. Where's my sewing bucket? Oops. Ugh. That's too far away. Okay, when you're done that, let me know, and we'll move on to the slip pocket. Hey, Benny. So Cheryl's ready, or is that an old ready? Let me know if you're ready. Coco's ready. Oh, yay. So yes, you can always rewatch the videos. Thank you for tuning in, even if it's just for the last part. And again, if you have any questions, you know, you can always shoot me an email or get me on Facebook or whatever. Okay. Oh, Cheryl's ready. Kathy's ready. Amy's ready. Okay. Becky's ready. Okay, so now we have our slip pocket. So this is the part where there's a fold, right? So you're just going to cut within the seam like so. Just a little angle. Oh my gosh, Coco. Without cutting the seams, this is just going to help us get a nice pointy corner. Erica, you can always, you can always watch the replay, and there's no pressure to ever keep up. Okay, so now you're going to turn this right side out like so. Poke out those corners and give it a good press. Where's my pokey thingy? Poke out those corners really good, like that. Okay, so you should have a raw open edge here. That's what we want. And go ahead and give that a good press at your iron. I'm gonna go do that. And again, this isn't in the pattern. We are just adding this in ourselves. And I think it's going to be just fine. I'm just making measurements to see. Okay, and then once you have that, you're going to take your overlay or slip pocket binding. I'm not sure what to call this. I'm going to use double-sided tape again. I'm going to put some below the center line that we drew. And above, kind of halfway like this. Okay. And then we're going to take off just the bottom one, and we're going to line this raw edge. You're going to see this is longer. That's okay. We're going to cut that away, but line that raw edge right up against that center line and stick it to the tape. And you can see I have my tape outside of seam allowances because we will be top stitching along that top part. And then take the tape off the other and fold it over that raw edge, and matching up. You see how I've matched up my vinyl here? All the way down. Like so. And it likes to bubble up, so I just like to take a couple clips just to hold it in place. And we're going to take this and the other lining main panel and put it in our sewing bucket. And then we can move back to the machine. So while everybody's doing that, I'm going to move back to the machine. Hello, we're almost done for the day. Oh my gosh. Last class will be in my new studio, and it won't be this messy, I promise you. Alrighty. I won't be walking into so much stuff. All right. Okay, so everybody let me know when you're there. I gotta fix this one a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm only going to give it another minute or so. We're down to the last 15 minutes and I have to get dinner in, so we're going to power through. The next two things are really easy. Actually, it's all really easy. Okay, Kathy's ready. Amy's ready. Erica's ready. Yay! Okay, so what we're going to do is right along this bottom here, we're going to do an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance along there. And then I'm going to go back in and do an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance along the folded edge. And that is going to close up that opening in the top and attach our vinyl part to the pocket. And I'm going to do the same through here. Easy peasy. Oops. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to take your scissors, and the excess we want to cut off, but make sure you are not cutting your fabric. So just beside it, because we don't want any raw edges there. Now, if you wanted to, you could take the time. I never do because I'm lazy. You could take the time and you could edge coat these, but I don't think they're seam really, so I never worry about it. I am going to burn my threads here. Okay, and then we want to attach this to our other main panel here. So I'm going to find the center of my main panel by folding it in half. I'm also going to go ahead and do my snips of my centers right now too, because that'll be helpful next week. Okay, so I got my center line. I'm also going to do the same for my slip pocket. Okay, and then what I like to do, and you don't have to do this, you can use pins if you want as well, but I go ahead and on the wrong side of my pocket, I put some double-sided tape just along the bottom. Again, I won't be sewing through it because it's above where we're going to be stitching it on with an 1/8 of an inch. I just find it helps hold it in place. So, and you are going to eyeball it. You want it to be about 2.5 inches down, so the same as what our zipper pocket was. Match up our center fold lines and press it down like so. Make sure you're out of the seam allowances here, which we are, and we're going to go ahead and top stitch down this side, across here, and up again, but not across here. That's going to be our opening for our slip pocket. Across the bottom. And up the other side. Oh my gosh, Coco. I think the husband's home. That's why she's barking like that. So there you go. We have that. Now, what I also like to do is I will do this for homework. You can decide if you want to. I like to put like a rivet right here and right here. I find it just helps give those seams a little more stability, and it's also decorative. So that is that panel done. Okay, and then next what we're going to do with our zipper pocket is exactly like we did with the outside of the overlay, pulling our threads long and all. You can backstitch if you want to, and you're going to be going an 1/8 of an inch around the inside perimeter, which is going to attach our zipper to the panel, but make sure you have a lining panel up and a lining panel down. Otherwise you will close your pocket. So make sure they're butterflied out, and everybody can go ahead and do that. Okay. holding my threads. This one, you'll have to move your zipper pull out of the way probably. Just make sure you put your needle down when you do that, like right here. I got my needle down. I'm lifting my foot up so I can pull my zipper out of the way. How's everybody doing? Okay, so this is where I'm going to pull my bobbin thread to pull my top thread through. Again, you don't have to do this. You can back stitch if you like. This is just my preference. And then make sure that you end the stitch in the same hole that we started with. I have to move my pull out of the way. Oh yeah. There we go. Hold on to your thread so you know which bobbin thread you're pulling. Give it a tug and pull that first loop you pull up through. Come on. Okay, so the next part is important. So everybody let me know when you're ready. Give everybody a couple minutes here. Because we are going to do this pocket different than the pattern. So when I have a turned bag, I like to leave an opening in the bottom of the lining and an opening in the zipper pocket, so I can turn the bag through the lining and then close the lining up through the opening in the zipper pocket. If you watch my tutorials, you know what I'm talking about, because I always do it the same way. So I'm going to show you how I prepare that. Again, I have tutorials on that as well if you need to go back and watch it again, or you can watch here, of course. So let me know when you're at this point. Give everybody a minute or so, and then we just have to sew on that side and we're done for the day. Kathy's ready. I think my zipper overlay looked okay by clipping those corners. I think I saved it. It's good. Okay, we'll give it another minute or so. Becky's ready. Okay, so we're gonna flip this over so we have our zipper, the back side of our main panel up and our zipper panels right side up, I guess it is. So we're seeing the back of our zipper tape. We're gonna pull this top one down like so. Kind of give it a good finger press. Now you're going to notice that one is longer than the other. You're going to go ahead and trim the difference up of your zipper pocket lining pieces. Now, this is how I go ahead to keep the bottom open. So you're going to take both of them like so, and you're going to fold it up, say 1/2 inch-ish or so. So you've got both layers. Fold it up about 1/2 inch and put a clip in it. Same with on the other side. This doesn't have to be exact. And put a clip in it. And I also put one in the middle just to hold it in place. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to flip this back so it's right side up. Now, I can see that well, we can trim that up later. I'm going to pull this as far as I can over this way. And we are going to sign where you can't pull it anymore. So right beside here, without going through the lining piece, you're going to go ahead, backstitch here, backstitch across the zipper tape, and all the way down to the bottom. So mine looks like it's almost a full inch seam allowance, but just eyeball it and stitch it down there. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We are not sewing across the bottom, but we are sewing across the fold. And look, I unthreaded my thing. Pause, please. Darn you, Tiffany. There we go. Okay. Take 2. Do that again. Okay, so you're pulling your lining piece as far as you can over and stitching right beside that part there. Backstitch. I always backstitch over the teeth. And then all the way down about the same seam allowance. Making sure that we have that end folded under by about 1/2 inch. And backstitch. And go ahead and do the same on the other side. So I'm going to start at the folded edge now. And do the same thing. Okay, and then for that zipper pocket, not the lining, just the zipper pocket here, go ahead and trim that seam allowance up to about 1/4 inch down those 2 sides. Like so. Same with the other side. Like so. And then you're going to take this bottom that we had folded up and you're going to kind of turn it, put your fingers in the hole, and then turn those folds backwards like this. They will want to go that way because we folded it that way. And then we're going to press that. And what that has done is it's given us an already folded edge right there for when we want to go and top stitch this shut, when we will do it through the zipper pocket later. All right, does that make sense? Again, I do have this in a tutorial and you can rewatch this, of course, to see how I did that. But yeah, you just kind of turn it out, give it a good pull, and then give that a good press, which everybody can do for homework. So we got both of the lining panels done, which is awesome. Now we are just going to sew on this side here. So we're going to put this against the machine like this. I wonder if I'm going to try to move you guys to my other side here so you can kind of see what hello. Oh my gosh, there's so little space. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Let me flip my camera around. 1 second, sorry. I'm going to flip you around. Did that work? It didn't work. It doesn't let me flip it the other way. Okay. YouTube is not being my friend. I wonder if I put you further back. Oh my gosh, you're right up against the wall here. Okay, I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing from here. So we are going to follow that 1/2 inch line that that we drew. If you didn't draw the line, it's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to go ahead and sew that all the way around. Careful not to get your hardware. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Putting the side on is a workout. It is. Just take it slow, especially when you get to that corner. That's why I use so many clips. Oh, broken clip. And then I'm just going to kind of turn the bag up as I go around that corner. See how it's kind of turning up? I'm still following that line that we drew around. And I have a million clips right at that curve. And I'll just take it stitch by stitch, clip by clip. Because we want to make sure that goes good. Make sure you're getting all layers there. Okay, you can kind of push this down like this now. Just make sure that your layers are even. Just for part of the bottom, and then you're going to want to bring it up when you get to the corner. And I actually have my hand inside the bag right now. I'm trying not to stitch through myself. Kind of come around, following that line. Once you get past that corner, you can breathe easy because it's home stretch there. Through the tough part. Again, go through and check your stitches. Make sure your stitches aren't showing through here. If they are, go ahead and do a second line of stitching right next to what we just did. If not, don't worry about it. You can kind of take a peek inside and see how good that looks, and you will put the other side on the exact same way. But that's going to be homework. I'm going to take you back to, ooh, I'm sideways now. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody got really quiet. I think you're working really hard. No space. Okay. The camera's kind of all wonky now. That's okay. I'm gonna push you up so you can see me better. All right, guys. Did all of that make sense? Are you, I look really tired, hey? Are we all good? So you can kind of see how amazing it's going to look in there. You're going to put your other panel on the exact same way, okay? Lauren, I did use a 4 stitch length on my industrial, so use whatever stitch length you use. I think on my Juki 2010Q, I used like a 3, but depending what machine you're on. So yes, so go ahead and do that. Your only homework is on the lining piece. Okay, so yeah, I'd use a 4. If you decide you want to add in your rivets for decoration, you definitely can. It was tough, Kim, just take it slow. Take it slow, it'll be okay. So yes, for homework, do the other side panel, and that is all you have for homework, is to attach that other side panel. Next week, we will be doing the lining panels, which go together almost the exact same way, but differently. Yeah. So save that for next week. So the first half of the class will be doing the lining panels. Second half of class will be the toughest part of the bag, which is going to be adding the zipper. I hope you guys are ready for it. We'll get through it. It'll be fine. And then you're going to be addicted to making this bag. And I tell you, this bag is a really, really, really good seller. This was one of the first bags that I made on my domestic machines when I first started out, and I sold so many Annette bags, like it wasn't even funny. So I haven't made it in a few years, got kind of tired of it, but now we're making it again. So yeah, this is a really weird angle of my camera. So I hope that class was good. I hope you all got something out of it. And ooh, yeah. Again, if you have any questions, oh, Amy says, ooh, my domestic is not happy with right. Can't wait for that cylinder arm. Oh dear, Amy. Are you doing all vinyl too, aren't you? So yeah, any bag is pretty much domestic machine friendly. It just all depends on what textiles you're choosing to do. This bag, when I was using my domestic, my front was almost always cotton. I do vinyl on the sides, but I use vinyl on everything now. So yeah, so I hope that was really good. That's your only homework, is to do the other side. That's good, because if I get behind, that's all I have to do too. And then we'll be putting it all together, and then everybody will be graduating from Annette class. Yay! Okay, so now I gotta go make supper. Well, there are a lot of layers, yes. Oh yay, Lauren, I'm glad you like it. Again, you could definitely keep the foam outside of the seam allowances if that makes it easier for you as well. If you have a fusible, I just myself don't like fusible. I find it doesn't stick very well. But yeah, so do the other half of this, and then I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You know my email. You know how to get me on Facebook. I'm here for you. And I will see you guys next week, okay? Thank you for coming out, and I'll see you later. Bye.